On the burning lands of hell, one soul was running away, but was blocked by one of the working demons. The demon laughs and picks him up. The demon said, well, looks like we have an escaped soul. How dare you try to go against the ruling and run away? The other demon just glares at him with his eyes wide open like he is high or something. This demon could even become a champion in a staring contest. The evil demon laughs and he says, I will chew you up and marinate you in a sauce for a day to turn you into some sweet and sour pork. The lost soul was so scared that he could only close his eyes while crying. He was asking for someone to save him. Then someone scarier appeared. Of course, it was the founder of hell, Lloyd from Terra. He told one of the devils to answer his question. Looking at his face, the lost soul was sweating, looking at someone scarier than the one who was holding him. The devil angrily shouts at him and says, hey, even if you are a great singer, you are still a human. But without letting the demon finish his sentence, he slaps that demon using his shovel on the head, making his head bend. Then the demon with his bent chin turns into Snow White, resting in peace while waiting for his true love's kiss. The glaring demon angrily said, how did you suddenly hit him out of nowhere? My friend's chin is all crooked now. Just apologize to him. Then, like a conscience, Javier at his back said, are you worried about your friend right now? What a kind-hearted demon. Hearing a good word from Javier, the demon who doesn't want to be praised for something good, felt like cold water was being thrown away at him. The glaring demon was shivering and sweating from what Javier said. He told Javier, what do you even know about me? Stop talking nonsense. I'm really cold-hearted evil. Javier replied, no. You are a kind-hearted demon. Hearing that made that glaring demon shiver more. Javier added, your mother must have raised you with love. Hearing that made the glaring demon stunned like lightning had hit him. Javier said another heartwarming word. Let me guess. Your mother told you something like this, right? To become a good demon that looks after those around you. The demon was shivering because of the agony he had from the good words that Javier said to him. The demon was still shivering from holding back his tears from the words of the great Grand Master. Javier added, your mother must have hugged you every day, telling that you are a lovely child, a child that loves others. Her saying that must have been like a blessing upon you that increased your self-confidence endlessly. You must have grown to be such a kind-hearted demon as you grew up learning from such a good mother. The demon at last burst into tears while denying what Javier said. Javier said, is this what your mother said to you when you got angry? That feeling you have is also part of you. Be sure to protect those emotions. The demon falls on his knees while crying and he says, no, my mom didn't do that. From glaring demon, he turns into a crying demon. For the last time, Javier told him that he hopes that he will be nice to his mother. Even Lloyd, who was listening to what he was saying, was shocked from the words of Javier. Like a crybaby, the crying demon burst into tears while punching softly Javier. Like a child, he shouted, take them back, right now. Take them back, right now. You know, you are so mean. Lloyd was sweating from what Javier said, and he told Javier that he had gone overboard from what he said. Even this evil bastard Lloyd has some small conscience. Javier asked Lloyd on which part that he went overboard. Lloyd replied, wow. You really are super talented at tearing a demon's heart apart. Lloyd told Javier that there are certain boundaries that he should not cross into. But Lloyd noticed that the other demon he slaps a while ago with the shovel had already wake up asking what happened. But Lloyd, without a second thought, slaps him with the shovel once again. The crybaby demon burst into tears while in the chest of Javier. While crying, that demon told Javier that his mom told her that she was glad that he was born, and that her mom told him that he was her happiness. Javier could only comfort the demon who was crying while opening up to him. While on the other hand, Lloyd's language is beating someone like Garp, whose love is in the form of fist. So he beat the demon with his legendary shovel while smiling like he was the demon or something. The next thing that happens is that the demon is kneeling in front of Lloyd like a son who is talking to his father. The demon said, ask me with anything you want. I will answer everything. Hearing that made Lloyd compliment him since he was now ready for the interrogation. The demon said, what do you mean? You never give me a chance to answer though. Lloyd asks, would you have answered if I didn't beat you up? The demon replied, nope, I wouldn't have answered. The demon smiled, looking at Lloyd. This man, he is asking in unexpected ways like it was nothing. That makes me respect him. When a demon respects you, this means you are a legend. So basically Lloyd is a legendary being. Lloyd raised the phone and said, first question, I found this on you. What is it? Isn't this a smartphone? The demon told Lloyd that what he is holding is called a spirit phone. Lloyd asks, why is this phone giving weird replies? The demon replied, the spirit phone doesn't have a search function. You can't find any information on hell, and even if you do get something, 40% of it is lies. Lloyd said, oh, if 40% of it is real information, that is already way better than the human world. The demon was shocked that Lloyd saw through all of his lies. Lloyd told him that he knows that demons are just full of lies. Then Lloyd, with a smirking face, asks that demon the direction of the King of Hell's castle. This demon tried to talk lies and scam someone like Lloyd, who is the legendary scammer. Then they fly towards the castle. Riding Gaming, the demon asked, I already told you that the castle is in the west. Why are you heading to the east? Lloyd replied, that is because you lied. You little packer. Hearing that made the demon blush like he received perfect recognition from Lloyd. Lloyd said, are you happy that I am swearing at you? You psycho. Lloyd said, tell me everything you know about the King of Hell and about hell, and I will berate you with swear words when we reach the castle. The demon replied, oh, that sounds tempting. By the way, you are a human, so how are you fine within the high heat of the flames of hell? Lloyd calls the demon as an impudent packer for asking questions because Lloyd told him that right now, he is only the one who is allowed to ask questions. Although it was hurtful, the demon was so happy from being cursed. But the reason why Lloyd is immune and gains resistance to dehydration in all high heat areas is because of his title called the Veteran in wearing only panties in the Western country. Looking at the large skull in the middle of the burning magma, Lloyd asks if that is the Hell Castle. The demon told him that it was not, but Lloyd knew that it was all lies, so he said that they are now going to land to the Hell's Castle. Gaming lands with a frown face due to the extreme heat. Land at their destination. After they ride down on Gaming, Lloyd told Javier that they need to go and fight the King of Hell. But suddenly, the demon called Lloyd as the great singer asks him that he wants the reward, which is to be berated by the swear words as what Lloyd promised a while ago. But Lloyd just glared at him and told him that he doesn't want to do that and that he should get lost. Hearing that made the demon blush and he said, well, this really made me start falling in love. Then Javier also smiles while the crying demon bids farewell to him. This is the difference between Lloyd and Javier. Lloyd develops the demon into a masochist who wants to be cursed at any time and blush while talking shit about him, while Javier turns a demon into someone lovable. Then the two of them continue their journey towards the Castle of Hell, which is a skull castle that spits magma in its mouth. While these two legends walk into the castle that is full of demons, like they are something like a guest in a masquerade ball with too confidence and disregarding all the demons in there, the demon smirked and said, what is that? Not only do they walk themselves into hell, they are acting all confident. One of the demons asks if they are nuts. Then Lloyd's face turns into something scary that makes that demon sweat. It said that he was scared to death because of his face. Another demon who saw his ugly face transitioned into a princess, calling his mom. Then the two continued their journey, while the demon was shivering, looking at the wall to look away from that ugly face of Lloyd. All the papers were in a mess because of what Lloyd's made. He laughed and said that hell was an easy place for him. Then a Hell Knight appeared and he said, I am the guard captain of the King of Hell's office, the 2nd Brigade General Heliximus. How dare you stand in the way of my mission? But with just a split second, he just beat down the Hell Knight. The Hell Knight's horse was shivering from what he saw. Lloyd compliments Javier for creating a series of careful beatings. Javier now becomes like his young master. Previously, he couldn't even defeat one Hell Knight when he was a swords master, but now that he is a Grand Master, he just beat it down easily. Then Lloyd opens up the main office, There he saw a middle-aged man who was problematic, while signing up all the piled papers around him. As soon as he saw the king of hell, Helcaros, who was once fetching him up, he knew that what he saw last time was not just a mere dream, but now, he is so certain about what he saw last time. He bowed down and said, "I, Lloyd Frontera, a human, pay my respects to the king of hell." The king, who was so busy signing the paperwork, said, "Why have you come now of all times? Do not disturb me, I am so busy." Lloyd asks, "Do you want to get off from overwork, right?" Lloyd was able to pick up the attention of Helcaros. He looked at Lloyd and said, "Why are you asking the obvious?" Lloyd smiled to Helcaros and told him that he would help him achieve that. This king of hell needs to get advice, for someone who dreams of having a lazy life. Another powerful being who will be scammed. Some of the things that Lloyd learned from the spirit phone. For 670,000 years, that is the number of years for the king of hell to have worked without a single break. The previous king of hell worked for 3.5 billion years without a break, fell into depression, and took his own life. The current king of hell, Helcaros, knows this as well, that he will end up following the same path as his predecessor, who suffers from overworking. Helcaros stops working to listen to what Lloyd wants to say. He asks, "How will you allow me to live a life that can knock off on time?" Lloyd just smiled and told Helcaros that what he is going to do is a secret business that he will deal. Helcaros said, "You dare try to negotiate with me, the king of hell? I know you are crazy, but this is going a little overboard." With his evil smile, thinking he had the upper hand, Lloyd said, "Please feel free to execute me now if you dislike me, and then, you can continue to work for the next 3.5 billion years. Helcaros was alarmed hearing what Lloyd said. Lloyd and Javier were nervous and sweating because there was no guarantee that Javier would be able to protect Lloyd. They are up against the king of hell. He is a being that possesses an unfathomable amount of power. In Lloyd's mind, there is one piece of information that I am counting on. The spirit phone had lots of content that was dissing the king of hell. The king of hell would ignore the laws and make his own judgment as he pleased. But there isn't any solid evidence. That means, the king of hell is actually someone who executes strictly on the laws. I am going to bet that he is an above-the-board and honest employee. Then the king of hell called Lloyd, and he called him by his past name, Kim Soo-ho. This piqued the attention of Javier, who was listening. The king of hell asks Lloyd what does he want in exchange. Lloyd smiled and, in his mind, I have the upper hand in this negotiation. The one who is more desperate is the loser. Lloyd humbly bows and said, the soul of Entix, which you have detained here. I want him to be free. Then with just one flick of Helcaros' finger, a whirlpool of mana appeared. It was actually Entix's soul who was crying and trapped in an orb. The king of hell asked, are you talking about this? I only keep him for my entertainment, so it isn't of great value to me. Alright, now that I have shown you what you want to see, isn't it time for you to give me an answer? How will you help me knock off some of my work? Lloyd told the king of hell that he has planned to set up an expressway. While the crazy workload is the problem, there is a bigger problem for the king of hell. After being judged by the king of hell, the souls are escorted to the gate of reincarnation. The demons would transport those souls in carts due to the packed-up terrain of hell. The routes keep changing. The demons are too stupid to find a new route on their own. In the end, the king of hell has to keep updating the new routes in real time. That is the core reason that he is unable to knock off work. If Lloyd builds an expressway to transport those souls, then the king of hell's workload can be reduced exponentially just by handing over Entix. The king of hell can be able to avoid lots of paperworks and enjoy a sweet and relaxing time. Helcaros told Lloyd that he would write up the contract so they could proceed with his idea. Lloyd was so happy, like he hit a jackpot. He is ready now to claim the Dragon King membership. Helcaros delivers the paper to Lloyd, using magic to sign the contract. He said, I have used up a full minute just to talk to you. If the reincarnation of the microorganisms and bacteria are delayed, it could cause a great extinction of all living things. I don't have time to plan manpower and material supplies for you. Demons that want to work are already transporting souls. You can do whatever you want with the idiots that are left. Lloyd proudly replied, I am an expert when it comes to delegating tasks. I just need one announcement from you on the spirit phone, and it will all be resolved." And with just a split second, both Lloyd and Javier were transported into one area in hell. Lloyd was on his knees because he was amazed about what happened. He said, "Wow, the King of Hell's power is incredible. He was able to teleport us with just a flick of a finger." He looked at a large black thing in the area. He said, "Is that the gate of reincarnation? It looks like a black hole. It will be the end of me, and my soul will get sucked up if I got too close to that." Javier remains silent. He suddenly asks, "Is your name Kim Suho? Whatever your name is, tell me your plans." Lloyd was sweating because Javier knew that he is not the real Lloyd Frontera, and because of that he could not tell what Javier was thinking. Lloyd said, "As I have explained to the King of Hell just now, we'll be making a road with iron." Javier asks Lloyd if that iron could last above the lava. Lloyd smiled and said, "I will only suggest if it is possible." Then, on the spirit phone of the demons, someone posted an announcement about the Lloyd Frontera's concert, who is the great singer in hell. It includes the time and the location of the said concert. The demon who saw the announcement first happily said, "Take a look at the announcement. He is really holding a concert." Everyone was praising and was so excited about the concert. All of the demons marched toward the said location. One demon said, "I cannot believe that I will be hearing the rumored singing of hell in person." Other demons said that they needed to go quickly since their hearts were already racing to hear the voice of Lloyd Frontera. In everyone's mind, if he dares to mess up his pitch or miss a beat, we will drag him all the way down. Since he is supposed to be better than us, demons have only high standards for Lloyd Frontera. What a legend. Like a mafia boss, Lloyd was at the top of the stage looking down at all of the demons. They are all cheering for Lloyd, saying that Lloyd will going to rock them. They are cheering for him to sing for them. He acts like he was going to sing the first note in Do Re Mi that made the Hell Knight scream for his life. This made all of the demons cheered louder, saying, "Sing for us." Lloyd glared at them, and he told them that he would not be going to sing anything. Hearing that made the crowd stop cheering, and they were so disappointed to hear that. The demons shouted, "What? We came all the way here just to hear you sing. Why aren't you singing? Why?" Lloyd just glared and said something while his mouth was smoking. He said, "Because I don't feel like singing for all of you. You packing idiots." The demons was so angry and were rallying to Lloyd that they said, "I feel like my blood pressure is rising. What a packing bastard. Get down here already. We'll kill you. Just keep your promise." All of the crowds was so angry, cursing at Lloyd. Now Lloyd calls the ace on his sleeves, the conscience named Javier. He told him that is Javier's time to shine now. Javier asks, "Do you think promises need to be kept?" The demon replied, "Of course. Promises are meant to be kept." Every other demon agrees, shouting to Lloyd that he should need to keep his promise. Javier glares and looks down at them. He says, "All of you must have been taught some manners at home, huh?" For the demon who doesn't want to be praised for being good, they soften and are about to cry from what Javier said. The demons shouted, "We take back our words. Please don't keep your promise. Please wait a minute. I don't know what to do anymore." Lloyd's face turns into something heinous. While laughing at them, he said, "You idiots. It is so easy to make a fool of you." The demons were crying for being annoyed. While murmuring, they said, "I can't take this anymore. Bring him down. That is so infuriating. This is driving me nuts. Someone does something about him. I feel so freaking frustrated." Lloyd was just happy teasing them, telling the demons to come up if they can. Lloyd Frontera, the true demon, smiles and in his mind, "Get angry. Go crazy. Let every single vessel with your body be filled with hatred for me. When that happens, all of you will become one of my unpaid slaves." This bastard wants someone to work for him for free. A business-minded engineer, Mr. Lloyd Frontera.